On this episode of the Mad Rush podcast.
When you look good, you feel good, and you stand a little bit taller, you carry yourself well, and you are confident. So we don't need to be worrying about what we look like and how we feel. Like when you're dressed head to toe, you're proud of yourself and you carry yourself a lot better. And I think that that's definitely what sororities are looking for, like someone who is confident in themselves and presents themselves with class, and they respect their body and they respect themselves. And that becomes very evident when you dress the part.
Welcome to the Mad Rush podcast. I'm Trisha Addix, the original sorority rush consultant. While the stories I have to share are nothing short of astonishing, this podcast goes beyond the wild client tales and sorority life. I'll be engaging with fascinating guests from both within and outside the Greek world, uncovering the surprising connections that bind us all together. Join me for a journey that's as entertaining as it is enlightening. Welcome to Mad Rush. So y'all know I love a good connection, and I think that is the reason the world works. So today's guest came to me from a very dear connection and college roommate, Michelle Smart. Small world alert. Today I have Michelle's friend, Janet Ord here, and I'm very excited for you to hear what she has to say. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Trisha, for having me. And thank you to Michelle for connecting us. She is wonderful. And this is a perfect example that the friendships you make during these college years truly last a lifetime. You'll have these connections for years to come. So thank you.
Oh, I love that. So Janet came to me because she is something that I think every sorority girl and pretty much anyone who wears shoes will want. So tell us about your company and what led you to start it. It's very interesting and it's very timely.
So QUADSis was born out of necessity. I was shopping for shoes with my daughter, Brooke, when she was 8 years old, wearing a women's size 7 shoe. And we were looking for a youthful alternative to classic styles that was practical, that was not a 3-inch heel, and fun, vibrant colors that with great materials that she could wear all day long. And there was simply nothing on the market. So we were both so frustrated, and for 3 or 4 years, I finally decided the only alternative was just to start my own company and create a footwear brand rooted in the true needs and the wants of the market. So after living the struggle and hearing from so many of you also going through it, we wanted to create an intentionally designed footwear collection, reimagining.
Interrupting, y'all. Did you hear that word? Intentionally. That's one of the reasons I want her here. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, everything we do is extremely intentional. And so we wanted to re-engineer these classic styles that are cute, comfortable, and perfect for all-day wear without sacrificing style and quality. So our name and our mission is rooted in this. Quads represents strength, and like your quad muscles, it's a very important part of your body. And my best friend and business partner and our principal designer, Stephanie Guido, she has 2 daughters, and I have 2 daughters, so that's quads as well. And our pillars are building strength and confidence, self-esteem, and self-fulfillment in these girls, so they are confident and empowered with footwear choices that are actually made for them. And the sis part, Stephanie and I are always mistaken as sisters, so we married the 2 into QUADSis.
So I want to get into something that you said that resonates with me, in the strength and the confidence. It's so important. And I've said this before on this podcast, and I'm sure I'll say it again because I tend to repeat myself. Confidence. People are attracted to confidence. And, one thing that drives me crazy is when I see people talking about how a sorority girl looks, and that is why she got into a certain sorority. It's because she's skinny and blonde and wearing pink, which I'm not knocking on pink. but it's so much more than that. What they're looking for and what people are attracted to is confidence. And with confidence comes just everything. Everything comes from confidence. It's not what you're wearing, which is weird for me to say when you're on this podcast, but it is, you're saying the exact same thing.
Exactly.
If you're confident in what you're wearing, it kind of doesn't matter what it is, and you've met that need. So that's really cool.
Absolutely. And when you look good, you feel good. And you stand a little bit taller, you carry yourself well, and you are confident. So we don't need to be worrying about what we look like and how we feel. Like when you're dressed head to toe, you're proud of yourself and you carry yourself a lot better. And, I think that that's definitely what sororities are looking for, like someone who is confident in themselves and presents themselves with class, and they respect their body and they respect themselves. And that becomes very evident when you dress the part.
Yes, so true. And y'all, this is not a video, but I'm going to post these shoes, and I'm also not making this an infomercial. I told Janet, I was like, if we get on there and talk about what your shoes look like, people are gonna be like, yeah, fast forward. But you guys have to know that I don't do anything that I don't believe in, and I really have your best interests at heart. And these are such a great idea. And I talk about the comfort of them, and they're so cute. I asked her to send me a pair so I can show you. So when I get those, I'm going to post about them so you can see. But, and we'll tell you at the end how to go to her website and look. But so talk about the comfort, and you told me about it, how you built them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, we've re-engineered and reimagined the classic styles. So we have an espadrille and a Mary Jane, a ballerina, and then two boots. But what we did is the heel is an inch and a half, and it's a little bit wider base. So the wedge actually, moves like your foot moves. And we have a cushioned footbed, which is also made of recycled apparel fabric from Brazil, which I think is super fun.
Oh,
And
wow. I didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah, they're handcrafted in Brazil and they're comfortable. A 3-inch wedge with a skinny heel is not practical for girls, women. We're on the go. We're moving. We want to look good. We want to feel good, and we want to feel confident. So the inch and a half is like the perfect height, gives you a little bit of height, but you're not towering over everyone. They're lightweight and they just move the way you do.
I can't wait to tell my friend Helen about these shoes because we always talk about, she has such a great sense of style, but we neither one of us we'll send each other pictures of shoes or whatever. I'm a big shoe gal, just FYI. And we'll send them back and forth, and she'll be like, "Oh, these are so cute, but I wish they were a little bit lower." And she said on the go, but y'all are about to, if you haven't been through Rush yet and you're going through Rush, on the go is an understatement. You are going to be hauling around these campuses. Some of the campuses, the sorority houses are really close together. Some they're not. And regardless, you're on your feet all day, and you're on your feet for 8 hours, and you're in the heat. So you don't want to be rubbing blisters. You don't want to be miserable in your shoes. I will tell you, if you do wear uncomfortable shoes, not these, which I don't recommend, throw a pair of flip-flops in your bag just so you can have something in between. But even better is not having to do that and wearing comfortable shoes. So QUADSis, I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
So speaking of sororities and Rush, another connection we have, go Dogs,
Go
is that
Dogs.
Janet and I were both sorority girls at the University of Georgia. I know you're an active alum at UGA. She hooked me up with someone yesterday that she knows through her work at Georgia. And I would love to hear, and I think people going to Georgia, and I think this will go across the board, any school, what you think sororities are looking for in new sisters or any trends that you're seeing since you spend so much time with this age group.
Absolutely. So, yes, go dogs. UGA has been an incredible support network as I've been building QUADSis. They've been a great resource, not only as a student, but as an alumni. So I'm very thankful for my time there.
So
And
wait, explain that. Why have they, what do they do? Who's helping you? I'm just curious.
yes, so I have worked with the Office of Entrepreneurship and also the marketing department. So the marketing department has American Marketing Association, the AMA Club, and they are a club of marketing students or other majors that select businesses and basically bring their expertise of what they're learning in the classroom to our business. It's a competition, and there's certain measurements, whether it's social media or pop-up shops or things that they bring to your business. And we actually won in the fall last year. So that was so much fun. But the students are so smart, and what they are learning right now is absolutely incredible. So
wow, that is so cool. And
yes.
I've had several students, college students on my podcast, and I am
Oh,
blown away by these minds, these brilliant minds that are, and like the things that they're coming up with. So that's super cool. You get like a really innovative, young,
yes.
finger on the pulse
hmm
marketing team.
It's unbelievable. We also worked with the Student Industry Fellows program, and these are some of the smartest students on campus. And it's like a consulting project for them where they get real world experience. And I learned from them. They did like an 18-month growth plan, which was extremely valuable. So, being a Georgia business, we can all utilize this resource. So, I can put you in touch.
I was going to say, sign me up. I mean, like I said, I had this guy, and for those of you who listen, y'all are going to be sick of me talking about this guy, but he is a junior. Well, I guess now he's almost a senior at Tufts University.
Mhm.
And he came up with this brilliant idea which we now give to all of our clients, and it's custom college tours based on your interests. And they created a Greek life tour for us, and so anyway, just brilliant. Like, he recognized this need and he did it, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, how, so I'm a huge fan. I also, again, I don't know why I'm bringing this up too, but I had a woman on this podcast, Katie Bulmer, and she talked about how sorority girls can change the world. But I'm like, with the comfort color tees, whatever. I'm digressing. But what I'm seeing and hearing is, I mean, these kids are awesome, and you're getting them while they're fresh and not, ready to go.
Exactly, exactly. And they're learning the cutting edge, the next thing, the AI, the digital marketing, and I'm pretty tech savvy, but they're taking it to the next level. So I, it was incredible. I was a Pi Phi at Georgia, and one of the girls on our
Y'all
group,
listening, if you need a Pi Phi rec, just kidding. I have one woman, and I want to hear this. I interrupted you, and I really want to hear this part. But I have this woman, she's a friend of mine, and she used to be a neighbor, and she's the only person that I like, no matter what. I go to her and I'm like, will you please write a rec for my client? And she's always willing to do it. But she was a Pi Phi at Georgia too. So anyway,
oh, yay.
and she lives near you. So all right, continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that one of the students that was on our team when we won was a Pi Phi. So that was so much fun. My daughter went with me to like the big night where they revealed, and we got to go into the house and see all the changes. So that was super cool.
Oh wow,
Super
I bet
cool.
you loved that. And
Yes,
has it changed much since you've been there, the Pi Phi house?
it has. So funny thing, when I went through Rush, or excuse me, I was a junior. I was a Pi Phi. I was a junior, and during our pref party, my mom was there. She was a Pi Phi. She was helping. We're in the middle.
She was helping at the pref party?
Yes, for all the girls, because she was a Pi Phi. And so she could be there. But during the party, our house caught on fire.
Wait, what?
The house caught on fire. There was candles and drapes. And during the prep party, we had PMPs in the house. We all had to run out. We were in the front yard of Zeta across the street, and our house burned.
Wait,
So
burned down?
it did not burn down, but the whole interior on the first floor burned. So
Wait, how have I not heard of this?
that is, I'm not going to say how many years ago, 1998 rush, I guess. Yeah. So the Papa House at Georgia, that was a memorable prep party, and
Seriously.
it was crazy. So they redid the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we always call the Kyo house has not changed much since I was there in the 80s. And it's kind of funny. We call it the mullet because it's short in the front and big in the back.
And it goes long.
Yeah. We call it the mullet. So, oh, wow. And so was your mom a Pi Phi at Georgia?
My mom is a Pi Phi at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. And funny thing, her big sister is the mother of my big sister.
Okay, wait, hold on.
So
her big sister
is my big sister's mom. So it's like
at Georgia and Tennessee, Chattanooga? Okay, y'all, connections. This is nuts.
It's
that might be the craziest story I've ever heard about Rush. Last year in Alabama, there was all this drama where they had to. So one thing, if y'all are listening, and when you go into a party, you have to have the same amount of time at each house. So, and you can't. So let's say something happens and you're kind of milling about, like if it's burning, the house is burning, and you're standing outside. That gives an unfair advantage. I don't really know that that's true, but you're talking to people it has to be very structured is all I'm trying to say. So the people you're talking to, you can't be outside with the Pi Phis talking to them for a longer period of time when, in this instance, the fire truck came and whatever. So last year at Alabama, there was all this drama and where the people they were in the house and something happened. And so they had to turn and face the wall so they wouldn't be talking to each other. And all the rumors were swirling that something terrible had happened, blah, blah, blah. And it was, not great. This girl had, I guess, gotten too hot. And I mean, she's fine. But the point is like the rumors, they swirled. Like everyone was like, oh, somebody did something wrong, whatever. And they had to be marched out of the house. But it is very crazy how structured it is. So was it structured then like that? Did y'all have to like not talk to the PNMs?
I don't remember that. I do remember when we ran out of the house, half of us were in the back parking lot, half of us were in the front yard at Zeta, and our president just goes through roll call. Like you start memorizing to make sure we had everybody out of the house. And they thought they lost half of us because half of us were in the parking lot, in the back. Gosh. And it was like this big reunion where we're running across and, oh, you're alive. But I remember that they pulled, all of the PMPs, they gathered them. So I'm not sure that we were on like a strict time limit like it is now, but
well, that makes
we
sense.
definitely didn't continue the in my yard. So
and then what did you do for the rest of Rush?
I don't remember.
Isn't that funny? I was about to say she doesn't remember.
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
That is crazy talk. Well, and it just goes to show that if you had on your shoes, you could run with comfort.
Exactly. But, those years, my sorority sisters, like my pledge class, there's a group of us and we are still best friends to this day. We travel together. Our children have gotten to know each other. And, a big contribution I have to say for the girls going through is these are lifelong friendships. And it's so important to find your place where you're meant to be. It's not where your friends are pledging. And I think, at this time in your life when it's full of so many changes, it's just so important to make the right decision based on what feels right. And our summer intern is in a sorority at Georgia. And I asked her, opinion of, what are you looking for? What are sororities looking for? And it's along the same lines as be authentic, be kind, be yourself. And if you're interested in a house, it's okay to show that interest.
Oh, yeah.
Know that you're interested. Let them know that you want to be a part of it, that you're going to contribute, that you want to be an active sister. And she said that becomes clearly evident, and they can feel it. You can feel it. And then, but just to be authentic, be yourself, and just be kind.
That's great advice, and something that is really important for you guys to hear. I mean, and we've talked about this. You don't want to pretend to be or wear something that you're not, isn't. If you wouldn't want to wear an espadrille, which I think everybody should wear yours, but if you wouldn't, then don't do it, because then you are not being authentically you, and then you're also not confident in what you're wearing. Exactly. And it spirals from there for sure. So that's great advice. And thank you for asking her on our listeners' behalf. I mean, I'm assuming that's what you did, and I appreciate it very much, because they're starting to, when this airs, it's go time for these people. And you guys listening, you need to know that if you hear nothing else, that and keep your mouth shut during rush, and don't talk to people about what you're interested in, and don't listen to rumors. So yeah, but that's straight from a sorority girl's mouth, and just, you got to remember that, people. Mm-hmm. So, all right, we're going to play a quick game. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to ask you I'm going to make you pick one of each of these things. Okay. I think if I don't know the first one, then I'm in trouble. Shoes versus jewelry.
Shoes, of course.
Yes.
But
and
I do love a good big earring and a bracelet stack, like up to my elbow. So, but shoes.
Yeah, you do have good earrings. When we talked the other day, I was like, dang, those are good earrings. And she has on good earrings now. Y'all will probably see them on the video.
Yeah.
Okay. Mini versus maxi.
I have to say a maxi with pockets.
Ah.
I do love a good mini at an appropriate length, but I gravitate to a maxi with pockets.
And what would you say what would you think your daughter's choice would be?
Mini.
Yeah. Okay. Ski vacation versus beach vacation.
Definitely beach. There's something about the water that just is so calming. It's my true happy place.
Yes. I am at the beach right now, and it is so calming. And that's another thing. I just thought of this, and I'm, of course, going off on a tangent, and I can because it's my podcast. So y'all, in these rush parties, if someone asks you what you did this summer, do not just say I went to the beach with my family. Like, really think about that ahead of time, and don't practice your answers, because it's very important that you're listening and engaging. But if you went to the beach, say, I went to the beach. This is the beach we've gone to since I was little. And what did you do? And so the ball goes back in their court. So anyway, just a little advice there. Okay. TV versus book.
I'm going to say TV. So I normally don't have time for either, but this summer, now that things have calmed down a little bit, my daughters and I have found some good shows to watch together, some good documentaries, some things they enjoy. So I would say TV.
So wait, can you tell me one? I'm always looking for something. And when it's summertime, it's tough for me because none of my shows are on.
I know. So we've watched The Perfect Couple. We've watched.
I read that. I didn't know that was.
Yes, it's really good. We watched Sirens, which is really good. And these are just kind of short ones. Let's see. We've watched. I don't like what they watch necessarily, like Love Island and Mormon Wives and things like that. But sometimes we watch that and sit together.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna invest in Love Island, because pretty much all of our clients watch it, and they even younger, and they're really into it.
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, when I was back in the 80s, or actually 90s, when Melrose Place was on.
Right.
It was 90210 in Melrose Place. We would, Monday nights, we would get our wine or whatever, get our snacks and meet and
Yeah.
watch it every week. And I think people do that with Love Island now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So very sorority-esque.
It is. It is.
Okay. Morning person versus night owl.
Definitely a morning person.
Really?
Yes, I love to get up, get my day started, but it starts very slow. I like a good morning routine with my coffee, scroll socials, and just have a little bit of quiet time before anyone wakes up. It's just me time, do a little devotion, sometimes go for a walk, and then I like to be in bed by like 9 or 10 o'clock and just relax.
So like what time are you saying in the morning?
I wake up without an alarm by 6:45 every morning. And
Wow. So if you were getting a plane, would you set an alarm just in case? If you had to move?
absolutely. Absolutely. I would definitely set an alarm. But just this morning, it was 4:45. And then I went back to sleep at 5:40 or woke back up at 6:45.
Wow. Yes. So we're recording this, y'all, in the morning, which is rare because Collier, my producer, is in LA. He is also, I think, a morning person. He doesn't sleep. But so I'm kind of liking it in the morning. Usually it's in the late afternoon because I'm like, oh, Collier's in LA. Let's make it later. But I'm kind of liking it. But I don't think I'm going to turn into a morning person.
I just feel accomplished. You know, when you get things done, you start your day off strong. So it makes me feel a little bit better.
I guess that could be. I don't know. Okay. So last but not least, Bama Rush Talk popularized the hashtag OOTD outfit of the day. For Mad Rush, I'm repurposing OOTD into observation of the day. So what is your hashtag observation of the day?
So you mentioned it earlier, and let's talk a minute about the Rush bag. So, oh my goodness, while they're super cute, the amount of stuff that you have to carry these days is just unbelievable. And I have to say, hashtag drop the flops. So get rid of the flip-flops. Get rid of the shoes in your bag. I would love to see a girl leave the house, look good, feel good, confident head to toe in what she's wearing, not bending down on the side of the street, changing her shoes and her dress. I want her to be comfortable head to toe, feel good, look good, and go. So,
okay, I'm liking that. I'm going to acquiesce to that. I'm going to acquiesce.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I think I'm going to take the flip-flops out of the bag because I agree with you. Like and also one of the big things that we tell people to do is write down when you leave a house, write down exactly how you felt, who you met, everything so that you can refer back to it later. Mm-hmm. So if you're changing shoes, you're not able to do that. So, okay, Janet, you have just changed. It's all Greek to me. I'm not kidding. I learned something like new there's an aha moment a lot of times on this podcast. And so I'm taking flip-flops off the list. I'm doing it.
Wear your quads, drop the flops.
Yeah, wear your quads, drop the flops. That can be our new tagline together. And we can, I'm not kidding. I'm going to try to get those Georgia marketing people behind me. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So anyway, where can listeners get these amazing shoes and where can they find you and look at them until I do a post?
Absolutely. So our website is shopquads.com and our social handle is at shopquadsis. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, Etsy, LinkedIn, LTK, everywhere online. So we are just so thrilled to share our brand. Thank you so much, Trisha, and sharing this collection, which gives women of all ages, this comfortable, lightweight, great style, intentionally designed, which is great for all day wear. And I know the girls are in such good hands with you. So they're going to end up exactly where they're meant to be. And I really appreciate you inviting us to talk about it.
Absolutely. And I love this episode so much because, like I said, I didn't want it to be an infomercial. Y'all don't need, I definitely need you to check out these shoes. and especially for Rush. But I just love the mission behind it, the strength, all of it. So you guys out there are strong, you're capable, and you are confident. So be confident in who you are and that you are authentically great. So thank you very much for being here. I look forward to long friendship with you, just like my friendship with Michelle. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Welcome to Time Out with Trisha. Because can you really give advice if you don't speak about yourself in the third person? I don't think so. This is exactly how I speak to my clients. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Now let's get into it. Being for a sorority rush, let's talk about it. Your wardrobe strategy, and you need a strategy and you need a plan. You do not want to wing this. So this is one of the most exciting yet nerve-wracking shopping experiences you'll ever have, building your sorority rush wardrobe. So this is not just about buying clothes. It's about crafting your story through style. Each outfit needs to speak before you even say hello. And Janet did a good job of talking about that. It's you speaking that you're confident. Here's the key. Authenticity trumps trends every time. Don't squeeze yourself into someone else's aesthetic just because you think it's what they want to see. The right sorority will love you for who you are, not who you're pretending to be. Budget. Let's talk budget. Budget smartly. Mix investment pieces with affordable finds and accessories, and that can completely change your look without breaking the bank. Also, check out rental sites, but go ahead and reserve these outfits now because there are a lot of people who are going to be going through Rush and renting clothes. And most importantly, choose clothes that make you feel incredible. When you feel confident in what you're wearing, as we talked about today, it shows. Your genuine smile and authentic personality will shine through, and that's what will make you memorable. Remember, you're not just shopping for clothes, you're investing in the first impression of your future sisterhood. Shop with intention, there we are with that word again, dress with confidence, and let your true self sparkle through every round. You've got this. And that's it for Time Out with Trisha. We'll see you on another episode of the Mad Rush Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Mad Rush Podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. For additional Rush tips, updates, and more, please follow me on Instagram at Rush with Confidence. If you would like to reach out to us or for more information, please email info@madrushpod.com. This podcast is produced by Collier Landry and Don't Touch My Radio. Copyright Trisha Adams.